Welcome to our channel. We'll be discussing in the video is much darker and more malicious side of the spectrum of dark psychology.
Covers a vast amount of territory. It is certain that the most elementary and instinctive forms have existed in human society since organized society itself has been in existence. People rose to the top of the food chain and, over time, developed a system for recognizing the leaders or alphas to whom others would submit. This primitive hierarchy is still followed today in many social circles. For example, the group of high school boys who like to hang out at the mall might have one person in their group who is the most good-looking, the most athletic, the most charismatic, or even all three at once. When an attractive young girl is noticed by the group, there is often an unspoken understanding that the alpha, or leader, gets first dibs. This is because no one else in the group is willing or capable of fighting the alpha with the intent to take his place. These things work almost without our active consciousness as a natural way to organize and make sense of ourselves as organizations of society. The same kind of thing happens at work, in school, in political office, etc.
Dark psychology comes into play in these areas of elementary social hierarchy, when individuals use covert or manipulative behaviors in order to establish themselves higher up in that hierarchy. They may lie, cheat, or steal in order to establish their dominance and capability. Again, these behaviors are as old as human organized society itself, and their applications and variances are too numerable to count. However, dark psychology itself has also integrated several different areas of specialization and research, which have been established and pursued in an effort to understand human behavior, psychology, and, finally, criminality. We know that human beings do not always interact with each other in totally benevolent ways, and the deviant human beings in our society are the ones causing the most harm and damage. Some researchers come to the discipline out of sheer interest and fascination, while other entities, like law enforcement, are obsessed with figuring out exactly what makes someone like the narcissistic serial killer tick. If they can unlock what is going on these criminals' minds and understand their tactics, then it would give them a leg up on their investigations. The problem is, as the very nature of these tactics is dark, it is very difficult to detect the workings of a criminal narcissist of sociopath until the damage is done and the victims come forward or, in the worst cases, bodies are recovered. And dark psychology does not solely exist in the realm of criminals. Especially in recent years, illegal and coercive interrogation tactics have come to light through major news outlets, documentaries, new evidence, and TV shows, which highlight the reality that sometimes, even the good guys will go to desperate measures to get what they want or maintain the reputations of their law enforcement organizations. False confessions leading to years, or even life in prison are utilized in court, and are sometimes proven false once the real culprits are caught. But sometimes, the guilty get away with their crimes when the incorrect person is blamed and convicted. Unfortunately, many of these cases reflect flagrant racism and laziness on the part of a few law enforcement officials. And, while there are thousands of skilled, honest officers and investigators working in modern society, it is the extreme cases that lead to grossly negative outcomes, which always make the front page. The sensationalism and true crime popularity frenzy are partially to blame for a reignited interest in dark psychology by those who do not work in realms like law enforcement, where it is a part of their jobs. Now, it feels increasingly important to be able to defend and rely on yourself in these situations where dark psychology is used maliciously. It may be statistically unlikely that you are going to come face to face with a manipulative serial killer or a sociopathic, gaslighting boyfriend. But you certainly would want to have been prepared in the case where you hit on that narrow likelihood, wouldn't you? This is why I can't say that reporting, social media, a renewed interest in true crime, corruption in the law enforcement arena, and dark psychology are altogether unfortunate evolution in the age of personal responsibility. As our cities get bigger, and political and social unrest grow in intensity, the hunting grounds ripe with potential targets become larger and closer together. There is no downside to taking it upon yourself to become educated and more aware of the potential threats in modern society. In the next video we'll learn how prevalent is dark psychology.